Thinking of buying the AirPods Max? In this video I'm going to be providing you with a full review of what they're like, including the sound, comfort, connectivity and all the other many features that these premium headphones have to offer. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dixon. I provide you with honest tech reviews so that you know everything you need to know about a product before you go ahead and buy. So sit back, relax and enjoy my review. Intro please. When it comes to the design, Apple loves its products to stand out from the crowd, and these are no exception. Straight away at a glance, you'll notice that lovely brushed aluminium finish wrapped around the ear cups, along with their very streamlined profile, especially noticed when you place them on your head, the very minimalist headband wrapped around the very top, all the way down to that really nice little rotating crown used for the volume control, and the buttons and everything else combined together makes it feel extremely robust to hold and touch in your hands. They are cold to the touch. The headband adjustments feels great, so it has that lovely level of resistance as you're adjusting up and down according to your head size, and it just really makes it feel like a premium product. I love the controls on these headphones. They are located just on the top of the right ear cup. So we have the digital crown, which is similar to that of the Apple Watch. And of course you can rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that will mean it will adjust the volume up or down. Then of course you can press that button in, so that will do things like play or pause a track, double tap to skip a track forwards, triple tap to go backwards, and you can do a long press to activate Siri, if you like using Siri that is of course. And the other button is used to switch between active noise cancellation, transparency mode, or you can choose to turn it off. So I really love the overall design of these. At first I wasn't too sure, but I really enjoy that retro look, and as I said earlier, when you place these on your head, they do have a really nice profile to them, and the way they capture the light on that metallic finish I think looks great. When it comes to the case, it's a completely different story. This case offers barely any protection. You'll see as we get closer up with the case on that the ear cups are still exposed at both the top and bottom of the case. So this includes things like those two buttons, a bit of the aluminium finish at the tops of the cups and at the bottom, as well as some of that soft cushioning. So in my opinion, this is going to be a problem. I wouldn't feel happy just throwing this in my bag with things like keys or other plastic things in there that could potentially scratch these headphones. Also, of course, the headband is fully exposed. I don't know if Apple wanted this to be carried like some sort of handbag or something, but it's not something I'm going to be doing, and I don't think many of you out there want to do that either. So in my opinion, the design is way off. It is simply used to put these headphones into a low power state, because another thing to be aware of is that these headphones do not have an on-off button. So they will go into a low power state and then an ultra low power state after a longer period. So in essence you are forced to use this case to avoid extensive battery usage unnecessarily. Otherwise it's completely useless. The AirPods Max feature the same H1 chip present in the AirPods and AirPods Pro. So when it comes to pairing and connectivity with another Apple device such as your iPad or iPhone, it is a piece of cake. When it comes to pairing them for the first time, just slip the headphones out of the case and then follow the instructions which pop up on your device. Basically, tap connect, follow those instructions and you're good to go. From then onwards, when you take these headphones out of the case, these will pair immediately with your device, and I've had no issues with these whatsoever. Take it out and you'll see it paired with the battery indicator and that beautiful graphic of the AirPods spinning around on your device, just to let you know that they've paired correctly. The H1 chip also makes it incredibly easy to switch between your devices. So if you're using it with your phone and then you open up your laptop lid, you'll see that it says that it's nearby and you can connect to the headphones. So it really is a fantastic feature if you're already invested in the Apple ecosystem. If you're an Android user, then of course you don't quite get the same level of connectivity. You'll just have to stick with the regular Bluetooth pairing. This isn't going to be a huge problem, but something to be aware of. So after setting these up, I placed them on my head, and you will have seen in my unboxing video that I said that these headphones were heavy yet comfortable. But actually over time I found that I did actually experience issues, and comfort is my biggest problem with these headphones. For me, they have two problems when it comes to comfort. First up is the weight. So of course, because of all those premium components such as the aluminium, these are heavy. And when you're wearing them for extended periods, you're always going to be reminded that you're wearing them, especially when you're moving your head. So if you're walking out on the street as an example, you will always be aware that these are there. So for me, that has a negative impact on that immersive experience that you'd hope to get from such premium headphones. On top of this, I also found that they're quite tight. So there's noticeable pressure inwards towards both of my ears. You feel them clamping in over time. And after an hour-long phone call, I actually found myself getting quite agitated. And I was constantly fidgeting with them, and I actually was looking forward to taking them off after the phone call. And this is obviously not something you want to be thinking about after just 1 hour of use. So I find this a real shame, because actually I think the cushions on these are really nice. It's a slightly different material to normal, so I'd say it's much more breathable. I don't find my ears getting so warm as I would have with something like my older Bose Quiet Comforts, but those fantastic large cushions haven't been enough for me to stop me having these comfort issues. I think the sound on these is brilliant. I'm sure there's some audiophiles out there that would start to argue otherwise for certain aspects, but I think as Bluetooth consumer headphones, these offer fantastic sound, and I think they're going to wow many of you out there. Over the years, I've found that the majority of headphones favour a certain type of sound, whether that be something where it's more warm with an emphasis on things like bass, all the way to brighter sounding headphones with higher frequency emphasis. I'm pleased to say that when it comes to the AirPods Max, I think the sound is actually very well balanced. These do feature an adaptive equalizer or adaptive EQ, and I do think this has a big impact on why they sound so balanced. Vocals are very crisp, nice warm punchy bass kicks in when it's needed in that bass heavy track that you're listening to, and I would actually say that the mids are separated well in general. And this has meant that I've actually noticed sounds a lot more in these headphones versus others that I've used over the years. It's not necessarily because these sounds weren't picked up with other headphones, but I'd just say that these AirPods do a fantastic job of separating them much more, so they become far more prominent. And it's meant that many of my favourite songs have sounded better, and I've been really enjoying listening to these over the past week. I'd also say in general that these headphones offer a very three-dimensional sound, so it makes them incredibly fun to listen to. And I've tested these with very different types of music, so different genres like rock and metal music, all the way through to regular sort of pop and dance stuff. And I think it does a fantastic job of reproducing the sounds for each of these genres incredibly well. Let's talk about spatial audio. So this is a unique feature offered by the AirPods Max, and it basically places those sounds so that it gives you that cinematic experience as if you're in a theatre or something with full surround sound speakers. And I can honestly say that it sounds fantastic. It really does make you feel that the audio is surrounding you, and so it fully immerses you in that movie or TV show that you're watching. So I tested this with things like The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and it just sounded fantastic and almost made me want to watch the entire series once again. There is another feature on top of this with Apple products. So when you activate spatial audio, it does actually mean that your headphones will interpret where your device is in relation to your head. So if I'm viewing a movie and I rotate my head left and right, you'll notice that the sound will adapt to make you think that sound is still coming directly from that device. Personally, in my opinion, I kind of think it might defeat the whole object of having headphones in the first place, because I just want to get that full 3D surround sound experience regardless of where my device is, but still something very cool to have as an option. Something to be aware of if you're an Android user is that I don't think these features are available. I don't have an Android device, so I haven't been able to test this, so I advise that you please look online to double check what's available, although I'm pretty sure that things like the adaptive equalizer and the spatial audio won't work as they do with an Apple device. So let's talk about active noise cancellation. This has become a heavily sought after feature in headphones on the market over the years, and the noise cancellation on these headphones is fantastic. And I wouldn't be surprised if audiophiles out there would soon start saying that these are some of the best in class, if not the best in class. The noise cancellation excels when it comes to very repetitive frequencies. So for example, anything from running the tap in your kitchen sink, or running the extractor fan when you're cooking, or when you're on a busy street and you've got lots of cars driving past, you are going to be fully immersed in that music experience because you just literally can't hear a thing. It's also worth noting that the large cushions for both ear cups also provide a really good passive form of noise cancellation. So for those of you out there that don't like to have it switched on all the time, perhaps you feel a bit of pressure in your ears when you do so, I'm pleased to say that you don't have to do so much with these. Another great feature with these is transparency mode, and actually I'd say this is probably one of the most impressive features on the headphones. I can honestly say that the sound that you hear, so when someone's talking to you, it sounds just the same as when you haven't got the headphones on. And as an example, if you've got birds singing through the window on your left and someone speaking on your right, you really can sense exactly where those sounds are coming from. It is incredible, and there's no other way to say it. I'm hugely impressed, and I'm just not sure if other headphones out there can compete on the same level right now. When it comes to phone calls, I was very keen to see two things, is actually the audio quality in terms of what I can hear on the headphones, as well as voice interpretation for others on the end of the line. And I'm pleased to say that of those people that I've asked, they said that they couldn't actually tell the difference between when I was using my AirPods versus my actual phone by itself. And I tested this myself, so I asked my wife to wear the AirPods Max and give me a call, both using FaceTime audio as well as a regular cellular phone call, and actually to be honest, I couldn't tell the difference at all. Her voice was incredibly clear for both phone calls, and when I was wearing the headphones myself, so for things like a Skype call for 1 hour, the voice feedback on my ears sounded very good. Something as well that I love is that combined with transparency mode, you can hear your voice crystal clear. Apple boasts up to 20 hours of listening time when you've got active noise cancellation or transparency mode enabled. In my opinion, I think they've understated this quite a bit. I like to keep my testing very simple when it comes to battery life. So I did simple 1 hour battery tests. So 1 hour listening to music with active noise cancellation, 1 hour with transparency mode, and also a 1 hour Skype call using transparency mode as well. And I found on average between all of them, they were very similar. So the average was between 3 to 5% battery usage. And I think that's pretty impressive. And obviously, if you look at those numbers, it means that you could be left with around 20% capacity. One thing to note, of course, is that these don't have an on or off button. So you can't just turn them off whenever you like. Yes, you can put them back in that case, but that will actually put them into a low power state mode. This means, for example, that when you leave them in the case overnight, I've found that I've lost around 3% of battery life. Not huge, but just something to be aware of. If you're still a bit unsure, also remember that you can fast charge these, so after 5 minutes you get 1.5 hours of listening time. So if you find yourself caught out or getting close to a low percentage, that could come in real handy. Anyway, in summary, I think 20 plus hours is going to be perfectly adequate for many of you out there. Even though some of the competition can offer up to around 30 hours, I still think these are going to be perfectly fine. So as you can see, there are many things which I love about the AirPods Max. These headphones offer a fantastic listening experience, and combined with the superb active noise cancellation and transparency mode, this really does set them out from the competition. That being said, my main issue was around the comfort of the headphones. So yes, this is subjective, and I would say that there's probably many people out there that would find these perfectly comfortable, but I just wanted to share how I personally felt about them. In terms of recommendations, I just want to be completely clear that these headphones are not about great value for money. These are incredibly expensive. At £550 or $550, these are far more expensive, sometimes double the price of many of the competitors out there on the market. These are another example of a classic Apple premium product, and I think they exceed in doing so incredibly well. They do feel and they sound incredibly premium. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to them, excluding that comfort of course. So if they're comfortable in your head and you're happy to pay that premium price, then I'll say that these are probably for you and you'll thoroughly enjoy them. If you're looking for value for money, or perhaps you're an Android user, I would say that it's probably worth checking out the competition out there, offering practically the same features for half the price. Overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed testing these headphones. I'm going to say from a personal perspective, because of the comfort, they're not going to be for me, so I'm going to stick with my Bose Quiet Comfort for now and maybe upgrade at a later point. So I hope all of that was useful. I hope it gave you a real insight into what these headphones are like. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.